That is now 5 straight wins for the Toronto Blue Jays as they welcome in the Seattle Mariners for the first time since that dreaded series there last October. And a lot of crazy things as well. Eric Swanson facing his former team. Teoscar Hernandez getting the standing ovation and warm welcome as he deserves. From all Blue Jay fans, still feels weird not seeing him in a Blue Jays uniform. But look, let's be honest, that's sports. And you get to the pitching matchup. And it was the exact pitching matchup in Game 1 of that wild card series. Luis Castillo versus Alek Manoah. Now, we know what Luis Castillo did in that game. He was outstanding in that game against the Blue Jays in Game 1. And Alek Manoah struggled early in the game. And look, it was all she wrote from like the first couple innings onwards. So what's it going to look like today? Well, you could tell in the early goings, Manoah's command not quite there, and that's been the problem to this point in his season. Other than that start against KC, other than the start in his last outing against the Yankees in the Bronx, he'd been awful, right? In the sense where he hadn't been finding the command. Now, early in this game, he really had troubles with that. Top of the second inning, Cal Raleigh to solo shot. Flashbacks of last year in the playoffs. I think Cal Raleigh's the one who hit the home run in that first inning to get them on the roll early in October. And he gives them a 1-0 lead in the top half of the second inning. But then you go to the bottom half of the second inning. And Alejandro Kirk comes up. And meanwhile, the Jays offense to this point hadn't done anything off Luis Castillo. I think it was 4 up, 4 down. And Kirk gets a fastball up and in about 97 miles an hour, but clearly he goes up there looking heater, and he crushes it to left center field. Does it have the height? And it does! And the Jays have tied the game at 1. Kirky with the second home run of the year, and he had a day on both sides of the ball. We'll talk about him in a second. And it's a 1-1 game. Top of the third inning rolls around. He walks some other guy. I don't know if he hit. Where did he hit Julio? I can't remember where that happened. It might have actually been here where he hit Julio, and then he walks a guy, Jared Kelenic, and you're like, oh my God, Alec, they're not putting bat to ball. I think he got a single, actually. Julio did in that inning. I can't remember exactly what happened, but either way, Cal Raleigh comes up. Top of the third. It's an RBI single. Jared Kelenic comes in to score, and they regain their lead right back. It's 2-1. We go to the bottom of the third inning, and Vladdy gets the 2-out walk off of Luis Castillo. Then Matt Chapman comes up, clearly looking fastball, and he crushes the ball to center field. I thought it was going to be right at Julio, but it goes over his head, one hops the wall. Vladdy loses the bucket, rounding second. He's flying around the bases, head first slide safely at the plate, and the Jays have tied the game again. It's 2-2. So they scored in the top half of the second inning. Jays tied it in the bottom half. They took the lead in the top half of the third. Jays tied it in the bottom half. Alek Manoah goes out there in the fourth. No problem. Shuts it down. Then we go to the bottom half of the sixth inning with 2 out, I believe. Let me actually fact check that because I can't remember if there was 2 out when Springer hit that or not. Let me quickly get that open if my Wi-Fi is if it's going to work for me. All right, bottom six. Right, so Trevor Gott came on. Weird delivery. Kirky singles to right field, a bouncer through the right side. Then Brandon Belt strikes out. Whit Merrifield bouncer back to the pitcher. Kirky out at second. So you have a guy at first with 2 out. Kevin Kiermaier then gets hit by a pitch. And George Springer comes up, and you're thinking about it, right? This Trevor Gott fella. He's pounding the Jays away. And they've been doing that all game long. So what's Springer looking for? He's looking away. He's looking more or less middle away because that's something you can do something with, right? Especially early in the count. And it was some sort of cutter. It was up and away. But it was enough for George Springer to barrel the ball and punch it into center field for a base hit. Whit Merrifield comes in to score. And the Blue Jays have a 3-2 lead. And that's obviously how the game finished. Isn't it remarkable when your bullpen is rested how electric your team's stuff looks? When they're not overused like crazy and then they get let up and then you blame the bullpen? Like, no! Starting pitching is so crucial. And we've seen recently with this Blue Jays starting rotation how good it can be. And if it can, maybe not to this extent, but if it can be this good consistently, then your bullpen's going to go out there and be fresh every time. Every bullpen guy that pitched in this game for the Blue Jays had 2 strikeouts. They were dominant. Offensively, let's talk about it. Matt Chapman, 2 for 4 with an RBI. Great to see him get 2 hits. I believe 2 hits, both off of Luis Castillo. Really nice to see that from him. He went 2 for 4 with an RBI. Alejandro Kirk went 3 for 4 with the RBI, a home run, and obviously the run scored. Also, as I mentioned earlier, on both ends of the ball, he did a great job tonight. Caught Alek Manoah really well, and threw out Julio Rodriguez trying to steal second base, and that is such a crucial spot because there was only 1 out at the time. Gorgeous throw, gorgeous tag from Whit Merrifield. Albeit the ball kind of led him right into the base runner. Because what happens? You throw him out, the next pitch is a fastball up that strikes him out and ends the inning. You imagine that he's safe? Now you have a guy at second and 1 out. Things change. Kirky throwing him out, Alex striking out. I think it was Cal Raleigh? I think it was Cal Raleigh to end off his inning, or his ball game for Alek Manoah. I love it. Kirky had a hell of a game. He really deserved it. I didn't realize this when I started looking at his numbers. Dude isn't over a 400 OBP this year. Like, people are talking about having a slow start to the season, and he was. But man, he is finding it. So 3 for 4, the run scored for Kirky. Attaboy. And Whit Merrifield, I mentioned it in the last video, and I'll say it again. He's living up to his name. 2-hit Whit. 2 for 4, the run scored for Whit Merrifield. That batting average is through the roof for him right now. He's doing a hell of a job for this team. Missed a home run by, 5-10 feet? Maybe. Hit the top of the wall. Would have been a 2-run shot. The Jays also could have had more runs. You know, after that double from Whit Merrifield, you have second and third, 2 out. And Kiermaier rips one. And J.P. Crawford, I don't know how the hell he made that play at short. A diving play, and it bounced. And he went, reached up and got it too. And then threw out Kevin Kiermaier. It was just an incredible play. And if that gets through, that's 2 runs. So he did a great, shout out J.P. Crawford for that. It was a hell of a play. But Whit Merrifield, great job with the bat as well. 8 hits total for the Blue Jays. 8 strikeouts. Walked a couple times. Bo Bichette didn't have a great day in the office. But hey, you know what? When you don't have a great day and your team still wins, it's gorgeous, right? It's gorgeous. Pitching-wise, Alek Manoah, as I mentioned, was battling his command a lot early on. Did figure it out as the game went along, though. 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, only 2 earned runs allowed, 7 strikeouts, but he did walk 4 guys, right? So that's still something to keep an eye on moving forward. And obviously, the 1 home run to Cal Raleigh as well. So again, if you love looking at the ERA stat, it went from 5.13 to 4.88, so it dropped 25 points. So there you go for Alek Manoah. But bullpen, Tim Mesa. I thought his stuff was on fire today. That sinker was diving, and it was hitting corners. It was brilliant to watch. He went a clean inning, no base runners, couple strikeouts. Really nice job for Tim Mesa. Jimmy Garcia, you mentioned, we saw it in his last outing against the White Sox, where he went out there and had a clean inning of work. I think he at least had 1 or 2 strikeouts in that inning. Got the confidence back up. Went out there today. And it's not like he faced any schmucks in the 7th inning. He faced Julio. He faced, I know it was Jared Kelenic. And he, let me see. It was Julio, Jared Kelenic, and Ty France. You know, he got Julio to strike out. Got Ty France just at a chopper to second base. And then got Jared Kelenic to strike out. Hell of an inning for Jimmy Garcia. Eric Swanson goes out there against his former team and allows no base runners, gets a couple strikeouts. Great job for the Swan Dog getting it done. And Jordan Romano, you got to shout out Mesa, Garcia, and Swanson, because with those guys not allowing a base runner, Jordan Romano comes out and he's facing 7, 8, 9. And if you're the Blue Jays, you want Julio's rear end to stay glued to the bench. I guess what? The on-deck circle, I guess, in this situation. And he does. Romano, clean inning of work. No base runners. Couple strikeouts. The bullpen today combined for 1, 2, 3, 4 innings. And had 2, 4, 6, 8 strikeouts. They had 4 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, and not a single base runner. The bullpen was awesome today. Really, really good. And Romano picks up save number 9 on the season. Also, I have to say at the very end of the video, Teoscar Hernandez in his, he's obviously in the force it a bit against his former team, of course. But 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts for Teoscar. The Jays did a good job neutralizing him. And let's be honest, in a 1-run game, that's the last guy you want at the plate if you're a Jays fan, because you're like, you know what he can do with 1 swing. So for them to keep him down, really nice. And I mentioned it in the last, did I mention in the last video? Where you wanted this game today because tomorrow you have your ace on the hill in Kevin Gausman. I put that in air quotes because everyone's pitching well right now. So Kevin Gausman is on the hill tomorrow for the Blue Jays. And Chris Flexen has an ERA north 8.5. He has not been good for the Mariners. You can ask any Mariner fan. I'm assuming they're not confident with him on the hill. You win that game, you at the very least win that series. At the very, very least. 3:07 first pitch at Rogers Center for Game 2 of this 3-game set. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the game today, smack that like button. I do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button. You guys not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? The Twitter and Instagram links are down in the description. So follow up there if you guys have not done so already, of course. And I will talk to you guys. Leafs edition. Game 6 tomorrow night. Leafs Lightning in Tampa. Actually, I didn't even check the time of the game. You know, it doesn't even matter. 7 or 7:30. I'm guessing since it's Saturday night, it'll be a 7 o'clock puck drop. As for the Blue Jays, they're in action tomorrow. Game 2, this 3-game set against the Seattle Mariners. 3:07 first pitch there at Rogers Center. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and, of course, the game today. We'll talk to you guys then.